This is exercise 8.4, using dynamic access control. Part of the Lab 8, managing data security. And this is found in Supporting Windows 8.1 Lab Manual, part of the Microsoft Official Academic Course in preparation for exam 70-688. In this exercise, we're going to configure dynamic access control by enabling the KDC support for claims and creating a resource property and resource rule. Dynamic Access Control, or DAC, originally called Claims-Based Access Control, was introduced in Windows Server 2012, which is used for access management. It provides an automatic mechanism to secure and control access to resources. The approximate time for this exercise is about 40 minutes. And we're going to start by logging into RWDC 01, and we're already logged in as Contoso Administrator. And now we're going to go into Tools and Group Policy Management. Okay, from here, if you don't already have Contoso expanded, we're going to go ahead and just expand it. And then right-click on Default Domain Controller Policies and select Edit. Okay, now we're going to navigate to Computer Configuration and expand Policies, expand Administrative Templates, expand System, and then go down to KDC, and then double-click the KDC Support for Claims, select Enabled, and then OK. Okay, if you're following along, oops, go back in here. If you're following along in your lab manual, you're required to do so. This would be where you take your next screenshot. We're going to go ahead and click on OK. And then we're going to close the Group Policy Management Editor. And then we're going to close Group Policy Management. And we're going to flip over so we're not going to flip over. We're going to go into our Server Manager. And then go into Tools. Then Active Directory Administrative Center. Okay, and now we're going to navigate to Dynamic Access Control. And then click on the Claims type. And we want to do a new claim. New claim type. I'm going to scroll down and click on Department. What is the default display name? And then we're going to click on OK. And then we're going to do a new claim type again. And now we're going to click on Description. And we're going to deselect user and select computer. And then click on OK. Okay, and back here on Dynamic Access Control, we want to select Resource Properties. And then under the Resource Properties, we want to right-click Department. Okay, we're going to double-click the Resource Properties. And then we're going to right-click Department. And then choose Enable. Now we're going to right-click Confidentiality. And then click Enable. Now we're going to close out of our Active Directory. And we're going to log into server 2. Actually, I think I'm already logged into server 2. So I'm already logged into server 2 as Contoso administrator. And I'm going to go to my File Explorer, go here, double click. Now we're going to do right click and then New Folder, Shared, F2, Shared Folder, and then enter. Oops, no. Do I already have a shared folder? Yes, I do. Okay, I already have a shared folder here. We're going to open, double click here, right click, New, Rich Text Document. We're going to call it Doc 1. Enter. Okay, and now we're going to go to File Resource Manager. We're going to close this, Tools. Now, if you don't have File Resource Manager here, I don't have it, so we're going to have to add it. So the first thing we have to do is go into Manage, Add Roles and Features, Next, Next, Next. I'm going to expand this, expand that, scroll down, and we're going to select File Server Resource Manager, Add Features, Next, Next, and then Install. Okay, we'll go ahead and do Close. Now we're going to go into Tools, File Server Resource Manager. And we're going to expand Classification Management. Then click on Classification Properties. And we're going to right click it and go ahead and do Refresh. That takes us to our next question, which is what are the two classification properties that have a global scope? There's one, there's two. We're going to click on Classification Rules. Right click, Create Classification Rule. In the General tab, we're going to type in Confidentiality. Let's try this again. And then we're going to click on the scope. And we're going to do add. We're going to browse to the shared folder. And then click on OK. Now we're going to click on the classification tab. And we're going to select configure. And we're going to change the regular expression to string. And then here we're going to type in HR. And this means that any document that contains the string HR will be automatically tagged as high confidentiality. Now we'll go ahead and do OK. Oops. Okay. We're going to click on the evaluation type. And then we're going to select reevaluate existing property values. And then select overwrite the existing value. And then click on OK. And then we want to run classification with all rules. We want to wait for the classification to complete. Okay, if you're following along in your lab manual, you're required to do so. This would be where you take your next screenshot, and you'll see there are 0 files that are applied to that. So we're going to go over to our document. Click on our shared. Go into our doc1 and type in HR. Exit. Save. I'm going to close out of this. And now we want to run it again. And then again, OK. And now we have, it shows the one file. Now we're going to close this. Go back to our folder. And we are going to right-click, go into Properties, and then click on the Classification tab. So we have confidentiality set as high. If you're following along in your lab manual and you're required to do so, this would be where you would take your next screenshot. And if you're one of my students, this would be where you would take your screenshot for your Lab 8 deliverable. I'm going to click on OK. And close out of this, and close out of this, and this is the end of this exercise and the end of this lab.